Welcome to the Taking the Lead podcast, where we empower people to be unstoppable. I'm Leslie Hoskins with my co-hosts Alyssa Otis and Timothy Cunyo. How are we doing today? Timothy, I know you've been busy. We say this all the time. This is no surprise, but give us the updates. What's happening?
Well, we just got back from a big dinner in the dark down there in Carrollton, and the Villa Rica Lions Club threw one this past weekend, and we raised a lot of money for Leader Dog, which blew me away the amount, and I want to thank them for that. It was a great run event, and I want to say hello to Sarah Claudia and her mother, and they listen to the podcast all the time. So,
good little shout out there then.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, her mother come up to me and goes, "Oh my gosh!" I mean, I'm nobody. But she goes, "I'm one of your biggest fans," or whatever. So it was embarrassing and humbling also. But we raised a lot of money. That place, we had 120 people there for the dinner in the dark. It was a sellout.
Wow.
And we raised, I was just blown away the amount that I got last night at midnight. And it was great. It was great.
There are always so many Leader Dog events that we've done, of course, but then just events that people are doing out and about in different states and sometimes we don't even know about the events.
That is very true. Very true. And we love Sarah Claudia. We've had her on the podcast. She actually co-hosted, I think, a couple times, Timothy, while you were traveling the world doing something, she stepped in. And so shout out, yes, to Miss Sarah Claudia. Thank you for all that you guys do. And thank you, Timothy. That's incredible. And what a great learning opportunity. It's a great advocacy event. And of course, raising money for our mission. So that's great.
It is amazing.
What's coming up with at Leader Dog soon? I heard there's a barking brew coming up.
There is, in fact. I know, with all the events going on off campus, we should also focus on what's going on campus
What's
here.
happening here?
What's happening at Leader Dog? Yeah, June 7th, we have Bark and Brew. So for those of you that are unfamiliar, it's a 5K, yet again, another running event. But feel free to walk it. I'm a walker, so there's no judgment there. And then once you do that 5K, you just end up at a little party. We've got donuts and food and different, I think we have face painting this year for any kiddos.
Yeah, it should be fun. It is presented by Chief Financial Credit Union this year. And anybody who is signed up to race after the finish line, they get a complimentary beverage from Rochester Mills Company or a Starbucks coffee. Ooh. Or they can get a taste of Jersey Mike subs or a Naps donut. So nobody's leaving this event hungry is what I'm learning. So sign me up for that.
I was going to say, I won't run.
Donut.
Yeah, Timothy and I aren't going to run, but we'll be there for the donuts.
Yes.
I'm a watcher.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But donuts for sure. I'll have to get my obligatory running through the finish line photo.
Yes.
That was it.
Yeah.
I was at that event about 3 years ago, and it was a great event. There's a lot of people there. It was awesome.
We were calling that my birthday party, though.
Yeah.
You didn't know I was going to be there.
Yeah, it happened to fall on Leslie's birthday, and she didn't let anybody forget it. That's in fact how we started all of our company meetings to talk about Bark and Brew. Don't forget, it's also Leslie's birthday.
Yep. It's a very important day. It's the biggest holiday that I like to celebrate. So we'll let Bark and Brew have its date of June 7th this year, and I'll continue moving on with my birthday. But
fantastic.
Good things happening and good things coming.
Always good things here. And another good thing, we have an incredible guest joining us today. So today we are joined by Mackenzie Nichols, who has been deeply involved with Leader Dogs for the Blind through Oakland University's on-campus puppy raising program. She has raised multiple future Leader Dogs and has played a major role in growing this program into what it is today.
Yes, Mackenzie attended Oakland University from 2019 through 2025, earning both her bachelor's in biomedical sciences and her master's in biology. During that time, she raised 4 future Leader Dogs. Mackenzie also served as president of the Future Leader Dog Club for 4.5 years. And for the past 2 years, she's continued giving back as a puppy counselor and is now preparing to head to Colorado State University for veterinary school.
Mackenzie, welcome to the podcast. Can we ask you what brought you to Leader Dog and want to be a puppy raiser?
Absolutely. So I would like to start off by thanking you all for having me here today. It is an absolute honor and privilege to be with you all. So my journey with Leader Dog actually began all the way back in 2019. So it was part of the Honors College introductory course known as Making Discoveries that we read the book Have Dog, Will Travel by Stefan Kusisto. And it was through that book and then also a guest lecture of a client here at Leader Dog that I learned about the organization. So Jeff Hawkins, and at the time his leader dog, Gracie, came to our university and gave a 45-minute lecture to our class. During that first 45 minutes, I was absolutely enamored and head over heels in love with Jeff, Gracie, and of course the organization. And then the second half of that lecture, where poor Dr. Harper, who's the dean of the Honors College and was the professor for this course, I was actually filling out my first ever puppy raising application. And then a few months later, I picked up my first puppy, and I've been absolutely addicted ever since.
That I feel bad for your professor. Here we are just taking over college and you're filling out applications, but that's incredible.
You know what? I still got a 10 out of 10 on that day's lecture quiz.
Amazing.
So I did enough.
Yeah. For sure.
And I love that Jeff Hawkins was so inspiring to you. It's like Timothy does, right? He goes out and shares a story and speaks to people in order for them to join our mission and our organization in whatever capacity. And for you, it was puppy raising.
Right.
So you jumped on the puppy raising wagon. Tell us about that first experience.
It was an incredible experience. So I actually picked up my first puppy in March of 2020. It was exactly 1 week prior to the shutdown.
Oh, gosh.
But honestly, it was the best time to pick up a puppy because it allowed me the opportunity to prioritize his needs, and then all of my schooling went online. So I was able to quite seamlessly balance puppy raising while going to school at the same time. And through that experience and how positive it was, I picked up my second puppy. And at that point, we were back to being fully on campus, and it allowed me to have quite a seamless transition into that puppy raising role because it allowed me to have a gradual learning experience in regards to time management, as well as just how to structure training a future leader dog, that I successfully was able to raise 4 puppies during my time at Oakland University.
That's crazy. It really, I mean, yes, pros and cons with COVID. You know, we talk about this all the time now, even though it's been 6 years.
Right.
Crazy. But so obviously your day was not typical with that first dog.
No.
With your second dog, you said you guys were back in person. So what is a typical day like with a dog? I mean, you've got responsibilities. You've got a dog, you've got classes, you've got yourself to care for. What does a day look like?
You know, it really changes from puppy raiser to puppy raiser, and then also dog to dog. So I was blessed with 4 future leader dogs that were very campus confident. Our campus is a hustling and bustling community, and thankfully it set my future leader dogs up for success. So my puppies went with me pretty much anywhere and everywhere. So my day pretty much started 3-ish hours prior to any lecture or class that I taught. I actually had the privilege of teaching at Oakland University as well, and my puppies were actually co-lecturers with me. So I was notorious for taking 8 a.m. lectures or teaching 8 a.m. lectures. So my day typically began at 4:30 or 5 in the morning. And this allowed me to build in time to prioritize their needs as well as my own. And then we always had time for our morning stroll around campus. And then we would jump into that 8 a.m. lecture where they were expected to settle and just be respectful little citizens, whether it be under my teacher's stand or under my desk. From there, we would always go and get coffee. My dogs were very well known at every single Starbucks on campus. So I can't tell you how many times I was sitting in the library on the first floor and where I had just walked by the Starbucks and there would magically be pup cups appearing in front of me. So my puppies were very spoiled in that retrospect. And then from there, we took advantage of every single opportunity Oakland University gave us in regards to training opportunities. So my dogs went to basketball games, baseball games, other sporting events. They went with me to extracurricular activities, whether that be involvement in our student organization and or other student organizations or student congress events. And then I also had the privilege of having 2 on-campus jobs that welcomed my future leader dogs into their community. So I was a secretary at the Honors College college for a semester, and my puppies went with me every single day and just hung out in the office. And then I also had the privilege of working for the entirety of my master's degree for a professor who absolutely loved the program. And he actually allowed me to keep a kennel and a student lounge of our lab. So I was able to have a laboratory Labrador. And he's a very studious guy. And now he's actually a working guide dog at a university. Insane.
Incredible.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
very
So what was the atmosphere like with all these students, and you were working this dog when you go to classes and stuff? Were they excited, or they just ignored the dog and, be like they're supposed to be?
It really changed over the course of those 6 years I was at the university. So during my first couple puppies, so I always tell my puppy raisers about an experience I had with my first puppy, where I was a brand new puppy raiser. It was my first time taking him to a lecture, and it's, of course, this cute, adorable little 8-pound bowling ball that I'm carrying around.
Yeah.
And somebody just ran up to my desk while my puppy was sleeping and started petting my dog. And I very ungraciously said, no. Didn't know at the time how to advocate and communicate what my puppy was for, but I learned over the course of the 4 dogs. But I'm also very proud of how much our community has learned. And I can't tell you, over the course of my last 2 times, my last 2 experiences raising a future leader dog, that anyone has come up to me and pet my dog without permission. Like, we have grown as a community, and we're producing a group of students that are able to go out into the world and know how to appropriately interact with service dogs in training.
That's such a good point of just like advocacy and education. And it's on all different aspects of this. Like, what you guys are doing are so impactful for the blindness and low vision community. But you're absolutely right. There's that other education piece, and your campus is now thinking about how to interact with, or not interact with, more importantly, service animals, and thinking about accessibility and access and rights and things like that. So we have had Dr. Graham Harper on the podcast as well, because this Oakland University puppy raising program has grown so much. Can you tell us a little bit more about your leadership role in overseeing kind of all the other, maybe newer puppy raisers?
Absolutely. So I really jumped into a leadership role my first year as a puppy raiser. So I stepped into the Leader Dog Mission and Communication Chair my first year at Oakland University. And this allowed me to be that big liaison between the university, Leader Dog, and our student organization. From there, I served as the vice president for a year. And then for the last 4.5 years of my time at Oakland University, I served as the president.
Wow.
So big leadership roles in that retrospect. And then also, I stepped into a role as a puppy counselor for the last 2 years, so the majority of my master's degree at Oakland University, and it's a role I still hold. And with my move to Colorado lingering in the very near future, It's a role that I am so heartbroken to relinquish, because I absolutely love the campus community. I love the students, and I love the incredible puppy raisers that have come into my life. Like, besides me, we've had 33 other students take up a leash and be student puppy raisers themselves, which I think has been the absolute highlight of my time at Oakland University, is watching other students take that leap of faith and take on the role of being a puppy raiser.
Wow. And the way that you've grown this program too, you're leaving a legacy. Honestly, you're changing the future of guide dog raising. And that is something to be super proud of, because I know that you are a mini celebrity here at Leader Dog.
Absolutely.
Because everybody knows all of the incredible work you've done. But to be able to spread that to 30, eventually 40, 50, hundreds of dogs, hopefully at some point.
And not only that, but we have, at any given semester, we have anywhere from 240 to 280 members. And I know for a fact, just because of the education that we instill in our members, that each and every one of those students knows the difference between a service dog in training, an emotional support animal, a therapy animal, and a household pet. So we take a lot of pride in making sure our students are very socially aware and prepared to advocate for those that need it most. So
Mackenzie, if somebody's listening, they're in college, how did you balance this? How did you do this? Studying and taking care of a dog and your social events. How did you do it?
I will be the first person to say it will have its highs and lows, but looking back, there's not a single second that I regret. I had an incredible support system. So my parents, don't do what I do. I brought home a couple puppies without permission. Thankfully, my parents are extremely supportive and very much so animal lovers. So they took it in stride. And I also had an incredible group of students. They're known as our campus buddies at Oakland University. So these students are kind of like our assistants, and they help out during classes, lectures, or exams that puppy necessarily wouldn't be successful in, and they babysit that puppy at the Honors College at Oakland University. So if it weren't for my parents, and if it weren't for those individuals, I would not have been able to balance puppy raising. So I'm incredibly grateful for their kindness and their help in this journey.
That's incredible. I also just don't think you sleep.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way you are sleeping and accomplishing all these things.
Honestly, if you guys saw my Google Calendar, I think you would be a little intimidated because everything is color coded.
Oh, I love it already. We're obsessed.
I used to be such a type B person. And then I brought home my first puppy, and then they crafted me into a very strict type.
You have to. You have a kid now, and all of a sudden you gotta be more organized and prepared.
They love structure and routine, and now so do I.
That's great.
That's phenomenal. So what's happening now? You said you're kind of having to hand over some of these other responsibilities. What has that been like? Kind of tasking somebody else and preparing them for these roles that you've had for several years.
Right. So actually, this transition started long before I graduated. So I started vetting out people really during my second year in that presidency role and bringing them up through the ropes. And I have left the student organization with 8 incredible young individuals who are going to grow it into the future. Like, I have not a single doubt in my mind that this program will continue to thrive over the years. And I am so excited to kind of watch from the sidelines and see how it continues to progress into the future and the impacts that they are already making within our campus community.
And the changes that they're making are going to be long lasting. I mean, the things that they are doing are now going to be going out. They might even be working with somebody on a college campus in Spain.
Right, exactly.
You know, so their world as puppy raisers is going to open up too, and to bring in that leader dog community. Like you said, you've stayed in touch with some of the clients that you've had your dogs go to.
So I have an incredible friendship with both of the individuals who received dogs of mine. So of my 4 that I raised, I had 2 medical career changes and then 2 go off to graduate. And I'm going to tell a little bit about their story because I think it's such a small world when you hear this story, but my first puppy that graduated in January of 2023, and he is with a physical therapy student at the University of Madrid in Spain. And then my most recent graduate, he graduated in January of 2026, and he is with a professor of physical therapy at the University of Madrid. And they are professor and student to one another. And it wasn't until during the client meet and greet here at Leader Dog that we found out about this, because it was just in casual conversation that I mentioned, I have another working dog at the University of Madrid. And he goes, and he threw out her name. And I started crying my happy tears. I am notorious for crying happy tears. But this just made my entire life. Like, the fact that 2 dogs that I raised here at Oakland University are now having such a positive impact at the University of Madrid to people that know each other. Like, that's crazy to me. It is such a small world.
That is wild. I have goosebumps.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
That is incredible.
Yes.
I think it is. When you say small world, that fits this organization so well. Like, so many puppy raisers communicate, and then their dogs are siblings, or then they find these other connections. And the community that Leader Dog creates is wild. You've got the client side, but it also so much intersects with our volunteers and puppy raisers and team members. So that's a fascinating story.
It is. Like, I'm so grateful for their friendships and for their kindness. Actually, I was sending audio messages back and forth with one of my clients this morning. I'm like, you're not going to believe what I'm doing today. I'm going to be on a podcast. And he goes, I'm jealous. He's so fun. I love him. And he's grown to be one of my closest friends on the entire planet. And that's grateful for that. Henry, my future leader dog, who's now a guide dog, brought us together. So
when are you going to Madrid?
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
kidding.
actually next summer. So yeah, one of my friends is having a wedding in the south of France, and I texted Danny and I'm like, hey, you're only like I just shouted out my client. I don't know.
That's okay.
But my client is Danny Sanchez, and he is lives in Madrid, and we're gonna go visit him next summer. So I am so excited, so over the moon, and Yeah, I'm incredibly grateful for his friendship because he is so much like me. We live such similar lifestyles. Not only is he on a college campus every day, but I used to take Henry to the gym with me almost every single day, and he would just be tethered to a kettlebell. And now I get videos of him doing the exact same thing, and I'm like, oh, I love this. This is awesome. Like, we've lived such parallel lives. Like,
yes.
It's insane.
You set him up for success too,
Yeah,
right?
you prepared him.
I always say a huge portion of what our puppy raisers do is preparing these dogs for where they're going to go. But it's rare that they go to the exact same place that you basically trained them at. So that is fantastic.
Right. And it was such a coincidence too.
That is
such a coincidence.
That is incredible. And you didn't even find out until you were chatting together.
Nobody knew.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, honestly, your whole story is incredible. I'm sure that you're going to inspire some people. So what are some things that you would tell somebody who's interested in being a puppy raiser?
Oh my gosh, go do it. If there is a will, there is a way. As someone who has raised 4 puppies, in a time of my life that I think will be one of the more stressful times of my life. Again, if there's a will, there's a way. My puppies have brought me my closest friends, my partner in life, and then a family within this organization that is making my move to Colorado such a heartbreaking and hard goodbye. It's not goodbye, it's an I'll see you later.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm incredibly grateful for every opportunity that this organization has given me. And if you're interested in puppy raising, I'm going to encourage you and challenge you to take that leap of faith and do it.
So you're going to school in Colorado State?
Yes, that's correct.
So you're going to learn to be a veterinarian. So what's your occupational goals in life now since you've done all this?
Oh my gosh. So I would love to be a small animal veterinarian. And potentially one day give back to the organization that has done so much for me. Like, this organization has changed my life. And Dr. Smith and Dr. Wilson, they are not allowed to retire anytime soon. And they are the absolute biggest shoes to fill. But when that day does come, I would love to be a candidate.
Yeah.
Love to be a candidate.
Yeah, our veterinary team is absolutely incredible. We have Dr. Smith and Dr. Wilson who work with all of our dogs, Dr. Gail McCrae, who's a theriogenologist. Right. I really hope I got that right. Sounded really good on my end. So, but yeah, we would always welcome more skill.
I have to ask, so you had told us the original story of how you got involved with Leader Dog and that lecture and reading the book. Did you know you wanted to go into veterinary school prior to that, or has this like totally just shifted your direction in life?
No, it completely shifted my direction in life. I actually went to Oakland University with the intention of becoming a human medical doctor. So that's why my undergrad is a biomedical sciences degree with a specialty in human anatomy. And it wasn't until my 4th year of schooling that I was like, I can combine my passions because I love people and I love animals. And it was through, I shadowed the vet team here at Leader Dog, and I was like, we're making the swap.
This is it.
Yep. And I got offered a free master's degree, and it allowed me to kind of restructure my application for vet school. And now we applied. I actually only applied to 3 schools, and I got into my top choice, and I said, okay, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're making the jump.
That's it.
So
Everything
excited.
happens for a reason. You are definitely in the path that you're supposed to be. That's incredible. I'm so excited for you. So we'll obviously maintain contact. We're not going to lose you. You're going to Colorado, but your family is here. Yes, you're local here.
Yes,
in
that's
Rochester
correct.
area.
I grew up in Clarkston, so not far
good.
from here at all, but I had not heard about Leader Dog until I was at Oakland University. So I'm incredibly grateful for Oakland for introducing me to this organization.
Well, and we are grateful that you heard about Leader Dog because look at all that you have done. So we want to thank you so much for joining us today, sharing about your puppy raising journey. I know I learned a lot. I'm sure everybody's going to be super excited to hear about it. And we want to thank all of you guys for listening to the Taking the Lead podcast. I'm Alyssa Otis with hosts Timothy Cunho and Leslie Hoskins. We hope you enjoyed learning about the on-campus puppy raising program and the important role Mackenzie plays as a puppy raiser. Please join us next time as we continue to dive into the world of blindness.
And if you'd like to learn more about applying to Leader Dog or puppy raising, you can head to leaderdog.org or call us at 888-777-5332. Don't forget, you can reach us at takingthelead@leaderdog.org with any questions or ideas. If you like today's podcast, make sure to hit subscribe and check us out wherever podcasts stream.